Hello guys and welcome back to the JavaScript lesson. Today we're going to start with part 2. So let's get started. Last time we left out on data types and today we're going to start with operators and complete the entire topic. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are one of the four main types of operators we will learn in JavaScript. So, what are the four arithmetic operators? The four main arithmetic operators include addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Under division, we'll be also learning about modulus. So, let's get started with addition. Basically, all of you may know what addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division is. Addition is adding two values together. Subtracting is subtracting one value from another. Multiplication is multiplying one value into another. And division is dividing one value by another. But what multiplication and division have separate signs. So for multiplication, instead of using an X, which is not available on the keyboard, we use the asterisk sign. And for division, instead of using the divided by sign, which is not also available on the keyboard, we use the forward slash. So under division, there's also another arithmetic operator known as modulus. What modulus does, it's find the remainder in division between the two values. If the first value is smaller than the second, then it will just give the output as the first value. Let's take some examples. First of all, let's say 5 and one more thing, the modulus is represented by the percentage sign. So back to here, 5 modulus, let's say 8. Here 5 is smaller than 8. 5 is the first value, 8 is the second value. 5 is smaller than 8, that's why the output will be just 5. But let's say 8 comes here and 5 goes there. Then it will be 8 modulus 5, right? 5 and over here 8. So in this case, when we're finding the division, 2 times 5 is 10, which is greater than 8, so that can't be divided. But the closest is 1 times 5, which is 5, and the remainder is 3. So the modulus output will be 3. So okay, let's move on to the logical operators. So as you can see here on the next 3 slides, I'll be showing some tables. They are known as truth tables. Basically, it shows what logical operators, which output they'll give out, true or false. Logical operators always give out a Boolean output. So this truth table shows whether they'll give true or false depending on the inputs. So the three main logical operators are AND, OR, and NOT. Firstly, AND only gives out true if both inputs are true. Let's say you're putting in an if statement, which we'll learn about later. Variable A is greater than 5, and let's say it is, and variable B is lesser than 5. Let's say it's not, it's 8. Variable B is 8. So in this case, it will be true and false, which will give false. The truth table shows all of the inputs and all of the outputs depending on the inputs. Now for OR only gives false if both inputs are false. Otherwise, it will always give true, because the point is that OR, even if one input is true, then it will give true. Finally, NOT. So what the NOT logical operator does is it basically inverses the input and gives that as the output. Say you're putting, now how do you use NOT? So first you're going to take this exclamation mark, which is NOT, and then unlike others like AND, let's say this symbol is AND, right? The real symbol is two ampersands, but to make it short, let's use this. Let's say you say A is equal to 8 and B is lesser than 7. This is how you'll do it. But for not, you have to put it outside the brackets, and inside the brackets will be a conditional statement, which you'll learn about later. Let's say A is equal to 8. So when you do not A is equal to 8, that means that since maybe A is equal to 8. So since there's a not outside, it just inverses the true into a false. So the output will be false. Okay, let's go on with comparison operators. So comparison operators, there are four main comparison operators. Most of them also have subdivisions. The first comparison operator is the equal to operator. So the equal to operator is represented by the equal to sign, of course, and it is classified under two types: strict equality and type converting equality. When we're talking about comparison operators, this equal to sign isn't an operator. The only two operators are the triple equal to and double equal to, right? This over here, the equal to sign, is an assignment operator, which we'll learn later. So yeah, the equal to operator is represented by the equal to sign, let's just say, and it is classified under two types: strict equality and type converting equality. Type converting equality is represented by the double equal to. So it's known as type converting equality because it only checks for the value. It does not check for the data type, which data type it is, unlike strict equality. That's why it's known as type converting equality, because you can change the data type. Strict equality is represented by the triple equal to sign, and it checks for both value and data type. Let's take an example. Say A is equal to, and in strings 5 quotation marks. So let's just say A is 5, right? This and wait 1 minute. Yeah, it won't be 1 equal to, it will be triple equal to, let's say. Then this will be false, right? Because these are two different data types, float and string. Okay, so let's go on. The lesser than operator. So the lesser than operator checks if one value is less than another, and only then does it return true. There is a subclass of this operator known as the less than or equal to operator, which, as the name suggests, checks whether it checks if the one value is less than or equal to another operator, and in both cases it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. So it is the lesser than equal to is represented by lesser than and then an equal to sign. The greater than operator. So the greater than operator is just like the lesser than operator. It checks if one value is greater than another, and just like the lesser than operator, it has a subclass which is greater than equal to, which is also represented by the greater sign and then an equal to. Sorry. Yeah. And yeah, it checks if one value is greater than or equal to another value. The not equal to operator. So the not equal to operator checks whether one value is not equal to another. Okay, you might not be understanding this. So let's take this example. A is not equal to 10, right? So let's just say A is 10, it will return false because it's checking if it's not equal to. But if A is 8, then it will return true because it's not equal to. Assignment operators. So there's 6 main assignment operators, and basically these are the ones. Firstly, the plus equal to. The plus equal to operator adds the value given after it to the value given before it, and sets the value before it to the sum of the two values. This might be a bit confusing, but hang on with me. So look here, I've given an example. A plus equal to 2. In this case, A is the first value and 2 is the second value. So this plus equal to operator adds the second value, which is 2, to the first value, which is A. Okay. Now let's say A is 5. So the sum will be 7. Simplified form of this is just a simplified form of A is equal to A plus 2, right? Then minus equal to. So the minus equal to is just like the plus equal to, but instead of adding, it subtracts. Let's show an example. A minus equal to. So let's say A is 5 once again. Uh, this will basically mean this is a simplified form of 5 is equal to 5 minus 2, right? So 5 minus 2 is 3. So the new A will be 3. Then the times equal to. So the times equal to multiplies the value given after it into the value given before it, right? It's just like that. It's just like the previous two operators, and so is the divided by equal to and the modulus equal to. Each of them, uh, each of them either multiplies, divides, or moduluses the second value, which is the number, into the variable or the value holder, which is A in this example. So let's go on to our final uh, assignment operator, which is the equal to. So basically what the equal to does is it assigns or compares two values. Can also be used during arithmetic operations to show the result. For example, var a is equal to 2 or a plus 30 is equal to 40. In both cases, equal is being used to assign a value to the value holder. As I said, the equal to is not similar to the double equal to or the triple equal to, which are known as the type converting equality and the strict equality respectively. It is different. It is assignment operator. So now prompt, alert, and confirm boxes. You may be knowing of these many pop-up boxes that come up on your web page when you're trying to browse, right? Basically, all of them are prompt, alert, and confirm boxes. Now in the next slide, we'll dive into them in great detail. Firstly, the prompt box. So the prompt box is used when you want the web page user to give an input before entering the page. Let's take an example of real life, not our code. So when you're going into a web page, it may be asking you your age, it may be asking you your name, and all of this is just to get some personal information about you, not personal, some information about you, so that it can direct you to a certain favorable web page. Prompt boxes, like I said, are used to get information from you. Now, what's the code? Before going into the code, we must remember that prompt boxes have two main types. The prompt boxes for float data type and the prompt box for the string data type. So as you can see here, the prompt box for the float data type, the difference is that in the float data type, there is a plus before the prompt, but in the string there isn't. So as I said earlier, floats and strings are very important. You must be careful when writing them, because if you're going to put a number in a string, it won't get added to another number. It will cause string concatenation, which we will learn about later. The alert box. So the alert box is often used when you want the web page user to be alerted of something. Maybe an output for the notice or storage the website gets, or it may even be something that a tracker a tracker the website is installing, so that it can help and fa- make your experience much better. You may have, as I said, there are many examples which you may have occurred. Like it may tell you if you hover over tab in the if you sometimes it can give you a alert that this much storage is being taken. Yeah. So let's see the code. The code is very simple. It just alert and then in the brackets, good job in quotes, right? Unlike the prompt box, it doesn't need a variable to be stored in, because prompt boxes take in an input and this input needs to be stored in a variable. The confirm box. So the confirm box, just like the prompt box, has to be stored into a variable. Why is this? Well, let's see. So the confirm box is often used when you want to confirm something with the user. There are two options, OK and cancel. So var, let's just see the code. Var r equals to confirm you are 10 years old. It's being stored in a variable because that variable will contain the Boolean data type of true or false. True is that you are confirming that you are 10 years old, and it's when you click on the OK button. False is that you're not 10 years old, and that's when you click on the cancel button. Okay, so now let's get into a very important part of JavaScript, if, else if, and else statements. So the if statement is used in the first condition of the code, right? What is this conditional statement I've been talking about for so long? It's a statement like A is greater than 5. It usually uses comparison operators as its conditional, right? So one thing to remember is we're not going to put the equal to sign because that's assignment operator. Comparison operators are triple equal to and double equal to. So if what's the difference between the if, else if, and else statements? The if statement is the first conditional statement of your code. This means that say you want to use multiple statements. If you are 5, then watch Sonic the Hedgehog. If you're 6, then watch Super Mario Bros. If you're 7, then watch Mission Impossible. All of this, you can't just keep using if. You need to first use an if statement, then you need to use an else if statement, another else if statement, and then you can use an else statement, so that you can say that if all of these are false, if all of these are the unknown, if all of these are false, yeah, then it doesn't then you don't need then it just jumps to one conclusion. So I've already explained the else if statement. As I said, if it's false, if the first if is false, then you move on to the else if statement. You can have multiple else if statements until like you're left with one option or none of the options, where you're going to use the else statement. The else statement is the last conditional statement of your code, and basically it's like a backup plan where if everything goes false, then this is the only thing that this is the only conclusion it will jump to. This is the only task it will perform. Okay, this is the last chapter of our JavaScript. This is the last chapter of the JavaScript course. So yeah, it's string manipulation. Now, what is string manipulation? There's two main types of string manipulation, which is the uppercase and lowercase function. Still not getting it? Okay, let me explain. You might be knowing that in the prompt box, it's going to accept a value. And you also know that JavaScript is case sensitive. So, since it will take an input and it may ask, what's your name? Now, let's say you're going to say John, right? Now, John, some people might write small j, some people write my capital J. So instead of writing all of the possible inputs that how you might write John in one statement of code, you can just write this. You can just use string manipulation to convert all of the whole word or the whole sentence into uppercase or lowercase. Now, what do we have to remember? So say you're asking what's your name, and then you're gonna write John, right? Then if you're gonna use the uppercase function, you're not gonna just write John in the prompt box in the if statement. I mean, you're gonna have to write full uppercase John because you're already converting into the uppercase. Okay, so let's get back. The two main types, as I said, are uppercase and the lowercase functions. They convert values with string data types, not float, not boolean, not undefined, only string, into upper or lowercase. So what is the uppercase function? The uppercase function, I've already explained it, but let's just go through it one more time. It converts strings into uppercase. For example, a is equal to a dot two uppercase and then brackets. Now, there's two main important things to remember here. Firstly, in uppercase, the two letters U and C are all have to be capital. And then, since it's a function, you're going to use the two brackets at the end. The lowercase function is exactly like the uppercase function, but instead of converting to uppercase, it converts to lowercase, right? This same code is there. You have to put the dot here, by the way. A is equal to a dot to lowercase. Same things to remember. Capital L, capital C, and then the function brackets. Okay, now that we're done learning, let's go ahead and have a short quiz. I'm gonna give you all 10 seconds to think of this. Predict the output after I read it out. Firstly, var number is equal to 10. Then you're gonna give a var digits. If the number is lesser than 11, then digits is equal to less than 11. Else if the number is greater than equal to 10, digits is equal to greater than 10. Else digits is equal to invalid. Alert digits. So now I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think. What is the output? Okay, so you might have guessed it by now. Digits will equal to greater than equal to 10. When you're going to put the alert digits, the output will be greater than equal to 10. Why is this? First of all, we can see that the number is equal to 10. Then first here it's asking if the number is if the number is lesser than 11, then digits is equal to less than 11. I got you there, didn't I? Less than 11. Here is the first statement. Less than 11 is the first statement. So even though the number greater than equal to 10 is here, it's the second statement. This is the first statement, so the answer will be less than equal to 11. Okay, so for let's do another predict the output. Var x is equal to 6. Var y is equal to x plus plus times 3 plus minus minus x. Okay, now you all might not be knowing what's x plus plus and minus minus x. So let me explain it to you quick. These These are the increment and decrement operators. They are not part of our, they are not part of what we're going to learn. But for those who want to learn some extra knowledge, this is for you. This might be complicated, so hang on with me. Firstly, what's the plus plus, right? Or what's the minus minus? So what these increment and decrement operators do is basically you can either increment the x or you can decrement. You can decrement or increment. So there are two main types. One is in which it comes after x, and one is in which where it comes before x, right? So when it comes after x, that's when it comes after x, it's going to only change the value to x. It's only going to change the value to 7. When you do plus plus, it means plus 1. So it's only going to change the value to 7 when x is mentioned again. So in this case, when you're going to say x plus plus, this x will change to 7 when x is mentioned over here. So now when you're writing this, x is currently the value 7. Now what happens when it comes before? So if you're going to say plus plus x, when you're going to write it before, then what happens is it automatically changes the value. So let's solve this question together. Let's say x is equal to 6. 1 minute. Yeah. X is 6, right? So what is y? Y, let's write it here. 6 plus plus, right? So the value is still remaining 6 times 3. So 6 times 3 plus minus minus x. Now what minus minus x is? It's 7 minus 1 because you're mentioning x again here, you see. So it will basically be x minus 1, 7 minus 1, which is 6. So basically the output here is 6 times 3 plus 6, which is 18 plus 6. 18 plus 6, and 18 plus 6 is 24. So var y is 24. Now when you're going to write document or write y plus x, another new thing is the br tag. The br tag is used in HTML, and for those who don't know, it's used to break a line, right? So say you're going to write y here. Y, as we said, is 24, and since br is to break a line, it goes below here, and 6 is written here. So the output will be 24 and then 24 and then below it comes 6. Okay, so let's see if you remember your variables. Which of these variable names are valid? I'm going to give you 20 seconds to just check with yourself. Okay, so let's start. Firstly, dollars 1, 2, 3, 4. This is completely correct because numbers can be used after the first letter. After the first letter, it can't be over here. And on in the first letter, you can use either the dollar sign, underscore, or letters. So this is correct. Then the second one is underscore high space 0. So at first it may look correct, but because of the space it's wrong because variable names can't have spaces. So this is wrong. Thirdly, hashtag living. This is also wrong because special characters other than the dollar sign and underscore aren't allowed. Fourthly, happy underscore r at jazz. This is also wrong because of special characters at the rate. And finally, 789 is correct. I'm joking, it's wrong because 7, a number, isn't allowed in the first. It isn't allowed on the first. So that's it for JavaScript. One thing, did you spot all 5 black cats? If yes, then good job, yeah? If no, just go back and look for yourself. I'm sure you'll find them. And while you're at it, just try and revise the slides too. Now, that's it for the JavaScript. That's it for JavaScript. So if you want to learn more, you can always visit visit the website again, or to learn more about various topics, or you can just go online and learn from many websites if you're really interested about JavaScript. To name a few, the website I think will be the most useful is W3 Schools. There you can get a free. There you can do your own code, try new codes, and overall learn a lot. If you want to learn more about JavaScript, if you're really